McCourty. Now, before we get going here, we got a lot to get to, but I want to get a housekeeping item out of the way before we talk football. What should we call you? Because you want to be called something that is not what I just called you. I want to get it right.
It's Slay.
Slay.
Slay. Or Big Play.
No Darius.
No Darius.
I like Big Play too, though.
Nah, Big Play cool too.
Okay, so I'm going to mix in some Big Play, but we're going to stick with Slay. So you at home, if you're like, why is she calling him Slay? That's why. That's what he wants to be called. We're glad that you're with us today. We've got a lot to get to. And so LA addressed that in a major way. Just over a month ago, they shocked the NFL by acquiring the reigning Defensive Player of the Year in Myles Garrett. And the secondary figures to be much improved following the additions of Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson we were just talking about there. Slay, when you look at what the Rams did this offseason, what stands out to you most? And you're welcome to say slay or nay to start it off as well.
Oh, man, that's a slay right there for sure.
Yeah.
Them guys answered every question definitely in that secondary. The secondary had a big issue last year. That's what held them back. Adding Trent McDuffie, Ashel, adding his counterpartner with him also, they did a great job adjusting that issue. And, of course, they just brought another Defensive Player of the Year. Freak of nature, Myles Garrett there. So the rush will be there with a corner that's like that. They just favorite in the North, honestly. You know I'm an Eagles guy, but they tend to be the favorites though. For sure.
So I want to ask you, when you add a guy like Myles Garrett as a DB, a cornerback specifically, what changes for you when you're lined up out there and you know big 95 is in front of you getting after the quarterback?
Oh man, as a corner you love it. You know, I'm a guy that sits on a lot of routes, so that's what we're doing. And Trent McDuffie, he's a guy that kind of pressed a lot too, and he got a good off technique. So it'll be exciting to see what he'll be capable of doing with that rush. That's a dangerous man.
And that's the part of it I love. You talked about them struggling in the secondary. You go out and you get Jalen Watson, you get Trent McDuffie, you sign back Cameron Curl. So now you look at it, they don't have any weak spots in the secondary, but along with that, the pass rush is going to be so daggone good that those guys, even the ones that were in that secondary last year that struggled some, well, now you're playing with a different type of aggression because you believe Byron Young, Kobe Turner, Braden Fisk, all of those guys up front are going to get home with the addition of Myles Garrett. We did all of this talking about the Rams, and we haven't even talked about the MVP on the other side and Matthew Stafford and what those guys are going to be able to do because he's still playing at such an elite level. And now I love the Ty Simpson pick. People went back and forth on it. Would have been nice to see a young wide receiver come into the group with a ton of speed just to complement what those two guys do. When you have a guy like Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua, would have been great. But still, a Matthew Stafford-led team, this is Super Bowl or bust for this team this year.
Well, on that note, you do kind of hear, Jeremy, rumblings of like they're not done. And could it be a wideout that they add? What are you hearing that's still potentially left on the checklist for the Rams this
Yeah, Laura,
offseason?
this roster is ready-made, but left tackle has become a question mark because Alaric Jackson is under investigation with the NFL for a domestic issue. If he has to miss time, they need somebody to fill in. There are some free agents out there like Taylor Decker, who was with you in Detroit. Some players who could fill a gap. They have a third-round pick named Keegan Tross that I told they really like, that he impressed in the spring. So maybe they roll with that. But they took Ty Simpson in the first round. Could have been an offensive lineman to help with this sort of gap. There were some offensive tackles available, but with the firepower they have, and then even if like Aaron Donald came back and played with Myles Garrett, it might not even matter who the left tackle is.
But are you
coming back?
throwing that out, or like is that happening? What do we know about that?
The Rams are leaning into the possibility, but nothing is happening. No contract offers as far as I know. Could be like a mid-season sniper, though. Maybe comes in like November, you know.
He comes in.
They may call you.
Hey, look.
You ready?
Hey,
need a corner.
Hey, they need one that bad. I'll be there.
I love it. You could add another ring potentially, especially the way they look. All right, let's go to San Francisco right now and talk a little bit more about this Brandon Aiyuk saga that continues to take a new turn every day. This has just gotten pretty weird at this point. Now the Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels has been added to the mix when it comes to a target of Aiyuk's conversation. Over the weekend, Aiyuk seemed to throw some shade at Daniels. Listen to this.
Fire gonna text me talking about something. You on my team now. You follow my rules. Boy, I'm a grown ass man, boy. You gonna have to start running behind your mama and I might believe what you talking about. But until then,
Okay. Jeremy, what's the latest on this situation and how's it being viewed in Washington?
Yeah, Laura, the latest is he continues to nuke his possibilities to play in the NFL, the more videos that come out. Now, I've asked people around the league with other teams, even trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Is this like an elaborate ruse? Is anybody else in on it? And nobody can come up with anything concrete other than these are just missteps and mistakes to be putting out these videos like that. especially talking about Jaden Daniels' mom in a video. Like, there's really no coming back from that. So right now he's stuck. He's on the left squad list for the 49ers. To get off that list, he has to apply with the NFL, with Commissioner Roger Goodell, through paperwork, has not done that. And if eventually he's cut or released or traded, and those options aren't great anyways, he's not going to have a lot of suitors. Even if somebody takes him on, it's going to be a vet minimum contract at the very most.
Yeah, I can see that why, man, because a guy like that, man, he's a great player. I played against him in the NFC Championship. Great route runner, great everything, but him acting like that is not cool. As a player that's been a leader in the locker room, even bringing that type of characteristic into your locker room will be tough to deal with, and it will be judging your front office, because you can only just imagine if he does it there, what would he do here? So, man, hopefully whatever he's going through, however it's going, hopefully he gets figured out. And, I love to see him play, but him acting like that, it'd be a tough situation.
And that's the challenge. As a former player, you see these videos and you try not to assume or place anything on anyone because you don't know what's going on. But as I look at it, he's already went on videos and mentioned numerous times that he's going to be a part of the Commanders team. If all of that was to happen, if I was his friend, I would just say, hey, just put the phone down. Yeah. Just go work out and don't say anything. Yep. Because for all of the necessary steps, you talked about applying for the reinstatement with Commissioner Goodell and doing all of those things, being released. All of those things he doesn't have to do. File the paperwork and then let all of those things take its course. Then when whoever signs you, you show up renewed and ready to go. From everything from the outside looking in, it looks like a troubled person that's posting videos and doing all these things of this nature. I hope somebody does take a flyer and signs him on a veteran minimum so that he can be back in the locker room. I think that's such a key component of being back around guys, being on routine, and being with people that have your best interest in mind.
Where are the people who love him in his life, in his circle? They take that phone and put it in a safe somewhere because it just continues to get worse. And if you're Washington, you can go sign a Keenan Allen, Stephon Diggs, who would be less of a headache right now to bring them in. The Washington Commanders don't really need this at this point.
They do have the third-round pick. Washington does. The wide receiver Antonio Williams out of Clemson. He figures to take on a big role in that pass game. Again, as everyone's set up here, we hope that Brandon Aiyuk is okay, and we'll keep you updated on what's going on there. All right, new on NFL Live from Adam Schefter. According to sources, free agent cornerback Rasul Douglas planning to sign a one-year deal with the Washington Commanders worth up to $3.8 million. Slay likes it. All right, Douglas spent the last season with the Dolphins, where he started 13 games, ranking the top 10 running backs in the NFL based on a survey of executives, coaches, and scouts. He's talked to him. He's got the info. Bijan Robinson taking the top spot, narrowly edging out Jahmyr Gibbs. Robinson led the NFL with nearly 2,300 scrimmage yards last season. Saquon Barkley's numbers dipped a bit last season following his record-setting year in 2024, but Saquon still takes the third spot. So Bijan top in the list there. Jeremy, you did the reporting here. Why did you hear that he edged out Gibbs for that top spot?
Yeah, Laura, thanks for the plug on the story.
Hey.
Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs will be jockeying for positioning for the next half decade. They're both 24 years old, in their prime, but Bijan Robinson won out because his overall body of work, and mainly, according to execs, his ability to make a big play or positive yards happen when the play breaks down or if there's blocking failure. He's just got the bend, the agility, the skill to make that all work. He can go 80 yards at any time. So defensive coordinators fear him the most. That's why he's probably going to get paid by Atlanta at some point this summer. They already paid Drake London. They already paid a couple other players. They want to get him done. Kyle Pitts is done. Now it's Bijan's turn, and he will probably reset that running back market in a big way.
As he should. Okay, the Eagles running back Saquon Barkley came in third behind both Robinson and Gibbs. Now, a high-ranking personnel official with the NFL said, quote, "He's still a three-down weapon, and if I needed a running back for one season, I'm still taking him with one." Another NFL coordinator listed his only criticism being that he doesn't always produce when things aren't completely clean. That's dating back to the Giants, tends to need things perfectly set up for him. Slay, you've played and won a Super Bowl with Saquon. What makes him such a dynamic running back?
Man, his explosive ability to be able to go 80, just how Bijan can. He's a guy that can do it all, three-down back. Guy can go line up receiver and run routes, get open. As you've seen, he catches passes at the backfield, line up at one, running wheel route, go routes. Whatever you want him to do, he could do it. Big play waiting to happen. I've seen it firsthand. Washington, playoff first play, pitch, breaking tackles, going tub. So that's what kind of guy you get from Saquon, man. He's one of the best backs in this league, man. I think he's one of the loosest backs. He still got it at his age, and that's why the Eagles did right by him by instead of him last year. I see him doing it again this year.
Derrick Henry, heading into his 11th season, was ranked just out of the top 5 at number 6. As far as his longevity in the league, though, a veteran NFL defensive coach said he hasn't really slowed down. To be honest, at least from what I've seen, you can knock him because he's not the pass threat that others are, but he's still a major problem. Guy takes care of himself like no other. I mean, we've seen him working out in the gym. It's crazy. J-Mac, you were teammates with Derrick Henry as a rookie. What stands out most to you about his ability to still produce at this level?
Well, what stands out physically is just unfair. I remember taking a picture with him after I retired, and I showed my son the picture, and he goes, "Daddy, you're the size of just one of his biceps." The fact that people have to tackle Derrick Henry is what makes it so unfair. Laura, you mentioned his off-season workouts. He's always running up a hill, doing some type of exercise in the gym that no one has ever seen before. That level of work ethic is the only thing that allows a guy to be as good as he is and still have played and been teammates with me. And I've been retired now for 5 years. Quick story, I remember Derrick Henry's first day. We're in team meetings, and the rookies usually get in, and they got to wait for the veterans to sit down. D-Hen's already sitting down. So he gets in there. I'm walking with a safety, Damian Stafford. We get there. He's like, "Hey, Rook, you're in my seat." Derrick stands up, and both of us just go like this. It was just like, "Hey, if I realized you was that damn big, I'll just let you have the seat."
Right. I'm not
He's
gonna ask
still
you to
dominating, and it's still unbelievable to watch him.
Oh, my goodness. That's
tackling him.
great. You have any stories like that from your
Man.
time playing with him?
Well, we caught him at a great time, man. In what it was, 22. AJ's first year, he got traded, man. We had a good run game stop, but man, first thing we said was don't let him get going because it could get ugly quick, and we didn't let him get going. But man, I was terrified. I'm not gonna lie.
I know. It's one of those, like, you make a business decision.
Yeah,
you see a lot of people making business
Yeah,
decisions
he put you in a
against
really
him.
good business decision every
No doubt
time.
about
man.
it.
I'm trying to
Exactly.
save my career.
You did have a lot of big plays, though, right? We do need to do a little bit more of that, okay? So coming up next on the show, play for nothing, all right? We just saw some of the best moments. Let's keep it going. We're going to go through the top 5 plays of Slay's career. Y'all do it for us.
Let's go, Slay. We need that swag that you had in
Come
the
on.
press conference when you talk about these plays. Start right
now.
here, number 5. What you got?
Hey, we got number 5, man, against my team, back to back against the Eagles on October, man, for Thanksgiving Day. It's a good day. Bam. See me.
Slay showing up in the run game. I like it.
Come on, man. Too many corners don't tackle too much.
I
was one of them. I was one of them.
Slay was a big hitter back in the
Yeah.
day. I like that.
Oh, yeah, then back-to-back plays, you know what I'm saying? Got the fumble. Then Q kicked the 3, and then the next play up, first Carson Wentz, first ever career pick. I got that.
Now, on the other view, you saw the sideline all yelling at you to get down on that interception. If you didn't see them telling you to get down, was you still going to return this ball?
Oh yeah, man. What's crazy was Deion had hit me up, man. He had hit me up in the DMs and said, "Hey, don't you never slide again. You better go score." So from there on, I should
Prime
score.
time?
Prime time, yeah.
Slight flex. Deion Sanders just hit me up to tell me not to slide. I had a few picks in my career. Deion never hit me up. So, play number 4. What we got right here?
Right here we got against Minnesota, man. It was a great battle against me and Thielen and all that. So me coming off playing good, just seeing the ball, see ball, get ball. Just letting you know, a guy that was a distraction, and I knew the ball wanted to go to Thielen, man. We call it a sail concept, man. So I read that pretty smooth. And anytime Thielen's at 3, he always run a sail, just playing it and coming off my man, easily making a play.
This is beautiful because you don't have no help over the top. You're just coming off your guy to go make a play. But, hey, ladies and gentlemen, that's called instincts. He sees it, believes it, goes and gets an interception. Play number 3, what we got?
Oh, yeah, man. We got the Carolina Panther, man. This is one of my favorite games because I just had my little boy, my son. I had 2 picks this game, but this is one of my favorite ones right here to show you the bunnies I have. We was in the cover 2, and, I jammed the sink, got the depth, man. I showed my 48-inch vert I got.
40-inch vert. I love it. Going up to get it. This is the second one here, or this is still the first?
This is still the first one. It's still the first
Well,
one.
let's shout out our guy, Rodney McLeod, right there at the
Yeah,
safety
you see
position.
Rodney?
Coming over there. Boom. Give him a little hit right there. I love that part of the game.
Yes, sir.
Can you take it back to the crib?
Oh, no, I didn't.
It doesn't always happen. Now we're going to get down to the last 2 plays. We're going to talk about these ones. This one is the first career interception,
Oh,
correct?
yes, sir. One of my first ones, man, against Geno Smith. Shout out to my draft mate. But my guy, man, we played a good coverage right here. We played called quads, as you know. So we got 2x2. I got a vertical stem by number 1. He get a chip, so me and him are actually doubling number 1 now. He does an in route, so as a corner, you replace the safety and to protect him on a double move. And thankfully, I did my job correctly. Got my first ever career pick.
I love that. And on this play, we got to also point out the fact that the pressure on Geno Smith right here, look at this. He's getting hit all the way in the backfield back here, and that allows you to make this play because the ball is overthrown by a mile, and you're able to pick this one off. The first career interception, an absolute beauty. I wouldn't do it justice if we didn't run it back and show the hit from this angle. Who is the defensive lineman making this hit?
Man, Ziggy Ansah.
Okay, I love it.
That's my guy.
Your teammate.
Hey, that's my draft mate too as well, man. He was the 4th pick and I was the 36th pick in that draft class. We set it up for Detroit. And Sue with a block. I would have scored, man. Come on, Sue. Where you at, Sue?
You always got to know when you get an interception, the running back is always going to be the one to make the tackle. Running backs take it personal. That's Bilal Powell right there. Throwback 2014, Slay's first interception of his career. And now let's get to the last play. This one, the number 1 play on your thing. Pick 6 versus Saints. What's the situation here?
Right here is a 2-minute situation, man. It was a lot going on. I got a message from one of my teammates that was over there, right, that was talking crazy. That said that, a coach said I wasn't that good. So I said, oh yeah, this is one of my favorite plays. So I
Coach one from the Saints.
From the Saints. He was talking, so I got a pick 6, 2-minute situation, 2x2. Everybody knows the traditional route. It's sticks routes. If you press, you convert it to verticals. So I already got the mind of myself, as in to sit down on the route because I know he's going to stop. And as you see, when I get into my pedal, I open up and get in my best break for him to beat him out the break, and bam.
So right here, now you know.
I already know what time it is.
As soon as you see him break it down,
Yes,
you know you can go on it.
Go. And converted to a pick 6, got on stage, tried to do my Kobe with the pull the shirt out, but I couldn't take my jersey off. My Kobe guy.
I love that. So many plays that we could have went over. Slay, don't leave the D name out. No Darius, just Slay or big play Slay.
That's it.
Top plays of his career. There could have been so many more, but we had to narrow it down. Unbelievable career. We're happy to have you in here today.
I appreciate y'all having me.
Honestly, I'm calling him Big Play just for the rest of the show. Forget Slay even. Absolutely awesome stuff. And a good number of those big plays came in Philadelphia. That's where we turn next. Hey, Jeremy and I are here. It's going to be another opportunity for Adam Schefter to track some of the biggest stories of the NFL offseason. Today, he takes a closer look at the Eagles and the A.J. Brown trade that seemed inevitable.
There was once a time when Mike Vrabel's Titans traded away All-Pro wide receiver A.J. Brown, and we all saw how that worked out.
Breaking news, Mike Vrabel has been fired by the Tennessee Titans.
The moment that they decided organizationally to trade A.J. Brown was the beginning of the end.
Brown posted the 2 highest single receiving yard totals in Eagles history, almost 1,500 yards in both 2022 and 2023, while helping the Eagles win a Super Bowl.
They said I was a diva. They said all I care about was stats. You're going to get all those things wrong about me, but one thing you can get right. I'm a champion.
Now Vrabel is hoping that Brown continues shedding defensive backs and posting the types of numbers that he has in recent years.
A.J. Brown is loose.
Look out, unstoppable.
Touchdown.
He's just uncoverable.
Over the past 4 seasons, Brown is one of only 2 NFL players to have at least 1,000 receiving yards and 7+ touchdowns in each season. The other is Bengals wide receiver Jamar Chase.
Obviously, I know this ain't heaven, but it's close to it.
The Patriots now have a replacement for Stephon Diggs and a receiver that can take the pressure off a receiving core that now includes Romeo Doubs, Matt Collins, Demario Douglas, and Kyle Williams.
The things that we did, the things we accomplished on the field, off the field, you always cherish those moments.
I think, yes, we can move on now. That sounds terrible, but thank God it's over.
The Eagles have been preparing for a brownout for weeks. They used their first-round pick on Mekhi Lemon.
They getting a dog. It's ready to work. I ain't doing no plan.
Traded for Dontavian Wicks and signed Hollywood Brown and Elijah Moore. And with new offensive coordinator Sean Mannion, they too are now ready to turn the page on the receiver known to turn pages and heads during games.
Adam being the wordsmith that he is. Slay, you've been in that Eagles locker room, right, and played with A.J. Brown. What's the reality inside the locker room when a situation like this unfolds and so much of it's happening so publicly?
Yeah, I've been in the locker room for a long time, 5 years there. I got a great history with these guys, man, both of these guys as well. They both great people. AJ is a great teammate, one of the best teammates. Hurts is the same way. He's a great leader. They both leads in different ways, but AJ was less vocal, and Hurts is a lot vocal because he's the quarterback. These guys here, man, they very talented, man. AJ for sure, a win first guy, as in like I'm doing this for the team. But as you're a player, you know, playing this game, you do want to have your own individual goals. You know, I don't never know a guy that's that elite that just, you know, don't want his accomplishments to be acknowledged. So he want to be a Hall of Famer, and he felt as in whatever he need to do is to get what he need to get is what he need to get. But he's an amazing player, man. He's a great friend, great family man, great everything.
All right, so if you had any questions about it, just put him to bed because we just heard what happened from Slay. He was there. Jeremy, from what you're hearing about how the Eagles are planning to replace A.J. Brown and some of that production on the offense, what can we expect?
Laura, I expect more of an equal opportunity passing offense with A.J. Brown gone. They have a lot of targets now to replace. Devontae Smith is totally comfortable being a number one. He's really been a number one all his life as a Heisman Trophy winner. And the way it was told to me, and Slay, correct me if I'm wrong, but Smith is the kind of personality where, if he needs to talk to Jalen Hurts about something, he'll pull him off to the side and just have a man-to-man talk with them. And so those two have a chemistry from their days at Alabama. That should go smoothly. Mekhi Lemon, I'm hearing, is a nice route runner. Eli Stowers, the second-round tight end they got, is really more of a glorified wide receiver. So they're going to have some young options. None of it matters if they can't get back to the way they ran the ball in 2024. This stat was crazy to me. I just looked this up. In 2024, Saquon Barkley had 17 runs of 20 or more yards. Last year, 4 runs of 20 or more yards. So they got to get back to those big plays. That will open up everything for Jalen Hurts in the passing game.
I love what you just ended with, Jalen Hurts in the passing game. And Slay, you talked about being in that locker room. So much from the outside, us as analysts, we have so much to say about Jalen Hurts. Super Bowl MVP, an unbelievable career so far. They're going to get back to quarterback under center, play action, throwing the ball over the middle. Is that something that you believe Jalen Hurts can thrive in under new coordinator Sean Mannion?
That's a goal for him. One thing I know about Hurts, he's been having different coordinators for the whole career, so he's very good at adjusting. But one thing Hurts, he's going to find a way to make him comfortable. So with him being under center, I think will be a new test for him. You know, turning his back to the offense, to the defense, and seeing a different picture from when he's seen it from under the center to when he turned his back to now he's seeing a different. So it's going to be a good challenge for him. And one thing about Hurts, he loves a challenge, and he like to exceed those challenges. So I'm looking forward to the season. You know, I'm rooting for my guys to do their thing. I need them to go ahead and win the NFC East.
I love it. And to me, like, that's the beauty of this situation. I feel like so much is said about Hurts in this offense and what it's going to look like. There's so many good players that's still on their side of the ball. We mentioned Hurts, Saquon Barkley. On the offensive line, Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, Jurgens, Dickerson. All of these guys are still returning. The question mark is how much of this new system can get mastered by the time the season comes on when you're in a division that's improved so much around you. So to me, I think this offense is still going to be good. It's about how fast can they become good to stay afloat in the NFC this year.
And of course, the goal is always get back to the Super Bowl, which the Eagles have recently been in. But it's worth remembering the Eagles have made the playoffs in every season since Nick Sirianni took over as the head coach in 2021. Only the Chiefs and Bills have won more games than Philly during that span. So a lot of criticism at times, but they've actually been probably a lot better than people realize. We'll see what that new offense looks like. Now, this new on NFL Live from Adam Schefter. Former Lions cornerback Terrion Arnold, who is facing legal issues in Florida, cleared waivers today and is now a free agent. Remember, he was released by the Lions. Arnold is expected to visit NFL teams that have expressed an interest in signing him. The Lions released him, as I said, last week. After allowing more than 30 points per game last season, worst in the NFL, the Cowboys addressed their defense this offseason. Each of their first 3 picks of the draft were used on defensive players, including a pair of first-rounders in Caleb Downs and Malachi Lawrence. Dallas also hired Christian Parker as their defensive coordinator. He was formerly the Eagles' defensive passing game coordinator, and now he goes to the Cowboys. We were saying that how could he possibly, it's upsetting to you, right? As an Eagles guy, you know him well. Like, what did you text him whenever he did this?
Man, I had to text my boy quick, man. I had to meditate for a second, you know. So that's my guy, man. CP, man, Christian Parker, man. He's a great coach. But he hurt my feelings, man. We went to the Cowboys, man. But I know it was a great job opportunity for him, man. He was looking forward to it. He deserves it. He's a real damn great coach, man. He does it from top to bottom, and he learned from one of the best to evict. So I'm not gonna be surprised at how this defense turned out, which I think is gonna be one of the best ones coming into this league. He's getting the guys that he needs, and he's a very good teacher too, man. And the thing he drafted a safety, Caleb Downs. He gonna be somewhat just as Cooper was for us.
Cowboys play the Giants. The fact that you know CP, can you root for the Cowboys in that game?
One thing about me, I'm an Eagle. I would never root for Cowboys. But I'm rooting for my boy defense to be good.
You can root for the person.
I can root for my boy defense to be a top defense, but I hope they score 10 points on the defense every game. But I hope they lose every one of them too.
I love it. J-Mac, when you think about the scheme and some of the things that we're going to see Christian Parker try to do with this defense based on even what Slay's telling us too about the way he can be a teacher, how would you assess the fit?
I love you put all of those names up there on the screen. They have a ton of talent this year on the defensive side of the ball compared to where they were last year. And two names that weren't on that list, Kenny Clark got there in training camp, so he wasn't fully there. And then Quentin Williams got there in the middle of the season. So now those guys get an entire offseason with this football team to continue to improve and learn the system. The biggest caveat for me is I've been around a Vic Fangio style of defense, and I was talking to Slay about this before we got on air. The amount of communication it takes to successfully run this defense, the amount of football that you need to understand and know, I think that's going to be their biggest hurdle is how fast can they really equip and learn it. Slay, you mentioned Caleb Downs. When you were in Philly, there was a young corner, a rookie, and you had two of them in your room, and Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. But Cooper DeJean ran the slot position in the middle of the field. A lot of people have looked at Caleb Downs in a similar role. Just talk about for a rookie DB coming in, learning that system, what that challenge could feel like.
And that's a big challenge, man, because Coops, he stood tall. He was a guy that came in, hurt his hamstring the first couple weeks, so he was a little bit behind. And then he started starting for us sooner or later. But, man, when I say he locked in and being on details, and that's shout out to Christian Parker being a great teacher, teaching him concepts, teaching him time, everything, after practice, working with him. So he go work with him very well, man. And the nickel in position, this defense is very, very important. I think it's one of the best positions on this team because he dictates a lot of the coverage, from whatever it's looking like cover 4 to cover 2 to whatever it could be. And with CP, he made it very easy for, Coop to be who he is today.
Yeah, it sounds really promising. I mean, Jeremy, what are the expectations in Dallas that you're hearing for Christian Parker stepping in as a first-time defensive coordinator?
Yeah, Laura, the expectations are massive because the Cowboys broke the mold by hiring Christian Parker. The last 5 coordinators they had were former head coaches. They were essentially retreads. But Christian Parker blew the interview out of the water when he talked to the Cowboys, so they went with an ascending positional coach. And Brian Schottenheimer holds a lot of weight over there. They trusted Schottenheimer, who loved Parker. That was his handpicked guy. So they rolled with it. And now you have a new scheme. You have his pieces in place, his own coaches, and instant credibility in the pass defense, which Dallas struggled with mightily last year. That's really where it starts and where he can make an immediate impact.
All right, so I realize I need to follow up on something. So you texted him. You're like, how could you do that? Whatever you said. What did he write back about why he went to the Cowboys?
He sent me the money sign. I said, hey, I can't get mad at you, man. I can't blame him.
That coordinator money is different.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Listen, he's only human.
Yeah,
we can't. And we also realize that Slay's going to be a Cowboys fan I'm just kidding.
Nah, never.
All right, he was like, wait, what? What'd you just say? Okay, still to come. A few big-name cornerbacks are still waiting on new
It takes to successfully run this defense. The amount of football that you need to understand and know, I think that's going to be their biggest hurdle is how fast can they really equip and learn it. Slay, you mentioned Caleb Downs. When you were in Philly, there was a young corner, a rookie, and you had two of them in your room, and Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. But Cooper DeJean ran the slot position in the middle of the field. A lot of people have looked at Caleb Downs in a similar role. Just talk about for a rookie DB coming in, learning that system, what that challenge could feel like.
And that's a big challenge, man, because Coops, he stood tall. He was a guy that came in, hurt his hamstring the first couple weeks, so he was a little bit behind. And then he started starting for us sooner or later. But, man, when I say he locked in and being on details, and that's shout out to Christian Parker being a great teacher, teaching him concepts, teaching him time, everything, after practice, working with him. So he go work with him very well, man. And the nickel in position, this defense is very, very important. I think it's one of the best positions on this team because he dictates a lot of the coverage, from whatever it's looking like cover 4 to cover 2 to whatever it could be. And with CP, he made it very easy for, Coop to be who he is today.
Yeah, it sounds really promising. I mean, Jeremy, what are the expectations in Dallas that you're hearing for Christian Parker stepping in as a first-time defensive coordinator?
Yeah, Laura, the expectations are massive because the Cowboys broke the mold by hiring Christian Parker. The last 5 coordinators they had were former head coaches. They were essentially retreads. But Christian Parker blew the interview out of the water when he talked to the Cowboys, so they went with an ascending positional coach. And Brian Schottenheimer holds a lot of weight over there. They trusted Schottenheimer, who loved Parker. That was his handpicked guy. So they rolled with it. And now you have a new scheme. You have his pieces in place, his own coaches, and instant credibility in the pass defense, which Dallas struggled with mightily last year. That's really where it starts and where he can make an immediate impact.
All right, so I realize I need to follow up on something. So you texted him. You're like, how could you do that? Whatever you said. What did he write back about why he went to the Cowboys?
He sent me the money sign. I said, oh, hey, I can't get mad at you,
can't
man.
blame him,
I can't
right?
blame him. You know,
That
what I'm
coordinator
saying?
money hits
Coach.
different.
Yeah, exactly.
And
But
I told-
listen, he's
dinner on
only
him.
human. Yeah,
dinner
we
on
can't.
him.
And we also realize that Slay's going to be a Cowboys fan just for. I'm just kidding.
Nah,
He's not.
never.
All right. He was like, wait, what? What'd you just say? Okay, still to come. A few big name cornerbacks are still waiting on new contracts. Could some of these guys reset the market for the position? J-Mac says they absolutely should. We're going to make him explain and talk a little bit more about who those guys are. That's coming your way next. Speaking of money, like these guys. Happy Monday, everybody. Time for some top stories. Let's take a look at some big names waiting on new contracts. I'm really interested to see what you got here for us, Jeremy. What's going on with Baker Mayfield?
Laura, Baker Mayfield wants a new deal, and he wants it before or at training camp. So the Bucs are optimistic that they can reach a deal with Mayfield, but they got work to do. It's status quo, no progress on a deal that could come in that range of like $45 to even $55 million per year, because 11 guys make 50 or more. He believes he's outplayed some of those guys, so he's looking for the payout. If he doesn't get a deal, he still plans to play the season, however. So Tampa's going to try to get that done. And then you got Jahmyr Gibbs in Detroit, one of the very best backs in the league, 24 years old. The Lions have notified Gibbs and his representatives that they would like to do a deal, but now they got to get to work to get that to the finish line. And the running back market could use a reset. A young player like Gibbs could get it perhaps over that $20 million per year threshold. And so we're taking steps here to the next guy, who is Christian Gonzalez. So talking about highest paid players, he's probably going to be that eventually. He wants a new deal. Held out part of OTAs, reported for